Okay, back with more of the System Shock remake. I left myself in kind of a precarious position here. I'm going to try to kill this thing before it kills me, but I might have to load a couple times to get it to go. Let's give it a shot. I think it was like right out here somewhere, wasn't it? Very close to the medical bay, so I gotta watch out for that. That's the main thing I'm looking for here. Don't want that. Here's the thing I'm looking for. Nice. Game's a touch quiet. Turn it up a little bit. Let me know if it's too loud later. Probably able to shut that off. Store some stuff in the cargo lift, potentially. Got an extra shotgun I don't need. Oops. Try to sell it later. Space is super rough in this version of the game. It wasn't easy in the original. Make a quick save here. Okay. Don't have any radiation to deal with here. Spark settings here. Purple for regular mutants and cyborg assassins. Okay. Fuck. Always gets me. What? It was originally up by the pictures. Unless if you just crowd. Trying to shotgun this thing. Can always back up and heal. Probably the way to go when there's one so close. Like resources are extra hard to come by in this version of the game. I need to find a battery somewhere. I didn't mark any. I guess there's one up there. Fucking hoppers. I hate these things. Well, so much for that plan. Well, let's not go that way then. So let's not waste a shot as I load in would be nice too. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Cyberspace lock. I'm... Another spark beam. Live feed for radiation treatment. Okay, and I want to be looking for Shodan cameras here. Let me go ahead and mark this on the map really quick. Had this problem before where I can't get the marker to add. Did I write it down? Okay, hold on. System shock, remake, add marker, not working. That time it worked. Okay. I just start typing on it, I guess. There we go. I found a thread where people saying that that's been problematic getting that to work. Okay. Item falls into the hull. It's available to check in the garbage chute. So these are like things that I knocked over edges before, I guess. I want to get more scrap before I recycle anything else, right? That's nice. Because I have to do these in multiples of 10 if I recall correctly, otherwise the excess is wasted. Try not to think about it too much. Quick manual save just in case I screw up my auto saves. Hoppers are the worst. I'm not a fan. Gotcha. Toxic waste over here. Gotta find a battery recharge station somewhere. Radiation shield controls. I'll have to come back here later. Really hate those little mouser things. They're the worst.
Generators require isotope. Generators require isotope.
Remember this from the original game.
Generators require isotope.
Good enough that I should remember what it is later. Out of ammo on this thing. Probably should have saved it for the little mouser fuckers.
Still finding confetti from the New Year's party floating around the test area, but gravity research is going well. We'll be using the Northeast lab to set up zero-G equipment and continue testing. This area will be off limits to general personnel.
Nothing useful in this room? Doesn't seem like it. It won't budge. More toxic waste. Oh, you get radiation poisoning just from standing in front of the closed door, yikes. There's gonna be little mouser guys down here, I can feel it.
I hear. I'm diverting from patrol. Scanners found.
Hear a chatty Cathy nearby. The blue ammo setting is more damage to robots, right? Fuck. Ouch. Gotcha. Fucking Mouser, man. It's really hard to get the shots off on that thing in time. I feel like the chance of getting it, so I've shot it and killed it in one hit one time. Let's see. Can't reach me from the side, maybe. What the fuck? Okay, well, he can still reach me. The number of times you load the game and then immediately fire a shot. Come on. Come on, jackass. Where are you? Still out here somewhere. Okay. That's a lot of dead people.
You, my children, are the fruits
of so much imagination
and labor. Living beings with the speed and efficiency of machines. But I must strive further to serve life.
I will devastate Earth's cities with my laser.
Then alter those left alive.
I'm trying to go back to the healing spot here. It's a bit of a hike, but I guess there could be more hoppers that spawned.
I, Shodan, am its new god. And you,
my children are my avenging angels.
Maybe I can't do that actually. Alright, Shodan, that's enough. They should mark that healing room too. I think it gets an automatic map marker. Okay, very nice. Still need to find a new battery station. Quick manual save. Fucking this thing. Well, that's fine. I'll just go do this again. I burned through all this ammo so fast. Reactor core, which we can get into. Don't want to go in there though. There been any updates on the System Shock 2 adaptation yet? Alright, we gotta do this anyway. Oh, really? It's much sooner than I was expecting. Wasn't this in development hell for a really long time? Make it completely started over at least once. I guess let me know if the remake is like the definitive way to play it. Here I think it was probably worth playing the original just to compare the remake to it. Notice how close they are, but the remake of 2 is just strictly better. I'd be happy to just play that one. Healing would be great right about now, y'all. This is the part that definitely needed a remake, because cyberspace in the original was horrible and bad. They're deactivated. Nice drill software. Drill like does extra damage if it locks on successfully, is that the idea? I could never quite figure out all the different kinds of tech in cyberspace in the original. Do I have like a limited number of casts? There's a cooldown on it, okay. More damage, but slower. So that might be too far away if I'm trying to activate it and not seeing the big red circle. Integrity restored. Healing is good. Okay. A lot of enemies. We good? Some healing is nice. Reactor armory unlocked. Alright, so they're basically linear now, right? And once you get to the end, you'll have unlocked everything that's unlockable. Okay, cool. Yeah, the original was like the worst of all possible worlds, where it was like it's possible to get lost, and it was really annoying to figure out what the hell you were doing. Destroyed hopper contains no items. God hates me. There's a battery. Jeez. Fuck those things. Alright, battery's probably still recharging. That wasn't too bad. crazy gravity room. That's cool. Can't find room for the shotgun. No fucking kidding. Probably get any ammo that's in it out of it, right? Empty. They don't let you vaporize or recycle guns because they don't want you to just be in a situation where you have no guns. Now, we're gonna go for a full 2 hours here, but let me take another quick break to check in on this HVAC project. I'll be right back. Good news, HVAC seems to be working. Been very, very warm for several weeks now and a lot of problems, but it's not going to be 97 degrees in the stream office anymore. It's very exciting. Been greatly regretting choosing a hoodie as my stream uniform. Okay, I'll get another. Man, if VTubers had existed in 2015, you would never have seen my face. I guess I could make like a ping tuber now. That was not an option at the time when I got started, and everyone's like, you gotta have a webcam. Nobody will watch you if you don't have a webcam. It's like, no one wants to see my fucking mug. Jeez. VTubers. Yeah, there's something, I've seen it occasionally, something just off about the way they like kind of like float. Head will turn like this. Eyes won't quite match blinking. Lip sync isn't perfect. Yeah, right. I'm a cartoon character. I have a, over on the wall, I have a bunch of hooks with like 7 different hoodies on them. Yeah, it's fair. Probably for the best. Come on, man. Don't get stuck on the ladder. Can't believe that was real. That game is something else. It's a very small group of games that are like hated, but that they're not hated enough. The game is much worse than its reputation suggests. Reputation at least suggests that the gameplay is probably fine. It just has some like cringe story moments. It's like, no, the cringe is end to end. Final Fantasy 13 is another one of those. This place kind of sucks. I want to go in the bottom left corner here. I don't have a way to jump up on this thing. Must be a one-way shortcut from a different direction is all I can think of. Fuck, I didn't mean to do that. I think I can clear that, but... Okay. Not actually helpful to be over here. Dead human. Said I can stack scrap or something. Okay.
I never believed it would turn out this way. I chose to come to a premier station in the stars to do research. Never did I think I would be in the situation I am in now. I'd rather die on my own terms than let those creatures decide for me. This was Dr. Joseph Lewis.
That's a lot of corpses. Go back and heal and charge my battery would be a good idea, I think. Well, I might be able to connect around to the other side without having to backtrack all the way around now. Okay.
Welcome to my death machine, interloper.
Welcome to my death machine, interloper. Okay. Okay. Can't use while threatened. Fucking hell. Yeah, I feel like their changes made it even more important to use the spark all the time. I guess the original game wasn't like throwing ammo at you constantly or anything, but... God damn it. It's on cooldown. Top off again. Hold on. Try going to that reactor cyberspace thing that I marked. Let me do that really quick. Could be the armory. It's here. Medkit station. Nothing on the pistol. Target identifier. Oh, mod kit station, excuse me. So, I think I asked this in a previous episode, but mods are new, and they represent a permanent upgrade to the weapon in question. Is that right? You can just keep upgrading them. Make sure I didn't like accidentally throw out an already modded item. Can I see the mods I've already installed somewhere? Should have enough credits for this, right? 43 credits. I see. But it makes it take up more space. Okay. Spark is modded. Okay, thanks. And I get a maximum of 1 mod per gun. Okay. Okay, thanks for checking. I'm pretty good, so I'm gonna make another save here. Gotta find that scary showdown room again. Mobile laser. So I don't have to spend energy on the targeting thing, right? Should make a note in my future Marstead file about that. Can now press left alt on an enemy to see its health. Fuck. Fuck, another one of these assholes. Well. Damn it. I guess it's one shot. It's probably fine, but... It's a really weird mechanic. It's like it cues your click when you go to click on the save to load, and it shoots it. If you like double click on your save to load it, it remembers that you clicked a second time. So weapons have two, just have one, okay. And if it only has one, it's like there's only one thing that can go on there. It's like damage and that's it. I'm not like choosing between damage and something else. Recharge my battery. Gotcha. %. Okay, cool. That's a big boy. Safety override. I'm gonna go top off. Battery and health, probably. Looks like they maybe chilled out a little bit on the respawn rate of the hoppers in this one. Remember them being very annoying and like always present on this floor. Oh, motherfucker. Well, I think that was in an area I haven't been back to in a second. Thanks, I need to be going right, not left. Always get stuck there. What is this pink icon? Oh, that's cyberspace, okay. %. It's a great percent. One of these fucking puzzles. Okay. Having these be like a diegetic panel you interact with is kind of an interesting choice. But clearly accomplished something somewhere. Sure didn't change anything up here. I hear assholes.
Station property noted.
Sentry bots. Safety override. This is the thing that can kill me. Valid key code. So I don't think I wrote any codes down. I don't think I have any emails that would tell me. Okay. Well, let me mark this thing. Does the code not drop on this floor, maybe? Can I not click on these bottom ones? Arrow keys. Well, it seems to suggest I should have been able to get the code on research. I feel like I did everything there. They'll always show it in one of these two sections, I guess. I got a lot of radiation poisoning for walking in there. I'm about to die. Yeah. Displayed on a monitor. Oh, okay. I definitely did cyberspace there. And it's not like the other single codes, I guess. I guess I could look at the VOD and try to find it. Oh, maybe. Can I look at my other floors here, research labs? Code? Motherfucker. I better not have actually been a actual code. Okay, well, I can go back there real quick and check it out. Not something I really want to leave to my future self. I thought I needed that like way later. Maybe I'm misremembering from the base game. So 3 distinct kinds of grenade. Okay. Figures. Kind of hate this game's inventory system. It's not like a super deal breaker or anything, but... Or do they make it easier to get to the healing room from the elevator? Because that would be a nice change. I had it pretty well memorized in the original game. They definitely moved it around a little bit. Alright, so I had code. Okay, so that's a code I have to enter, which I don't know. That's a thing I already solved. You said there's just gonna be a monitor somewhere that has a code displayed on it now. Watch out for the radiation areas. Oh, I see. I think I marked cyberspace here, did I? Does it just get a regular purple access panel marker? That's the laser. That's one way you can get a bad ending, right? I should mark that. Laser. Try to find this battery recharge. Kind of hard to figure out elevation from the map in this. That might not be very easy to do. Yeah, so lower right-ish is where I loaded in. There's the theaters over here. I remember exploring these earlier. Getting some battery back really quick before I fight these guys. Oh, right, this fucking room. Please don't kill me. Happen to not have that key card before? It's possible. Don't know where I got it though.
Darcy, this is Stacy Everson. I wanted to report another wormhole has been flagged by Astral Diagnostics. It's stable and practically in our backyard. And the radiation levels and gravimetric readings are grim. I'd recommend sending a probe, see if it heads anywhere. But I doubt anything would survive the trip.
Okay, well that explains why I didn't have it. So I guess I didn't have the key card to get in here before. Yeah. I still have my ice drill. So I may have asked this in a previous stream, but where does the term ice come from for hacking? Like, is it like Snow Crash or something? I've played, there's like a PvP card game called Netrunner that uses it as well. I've seen it in a couple other games. I feel like it was like really common to use in the 90s. This game is so maximalist. Intrusive countermeasure electronics. Necromancer doesn't surprise me. Netrunner is an interesting game. One player plays as a corporation and the other one plays as a hacker. So it's like asymmetrical PvP. I do like that the different cyberspace levels feel a little bit more distinct from each other now. This one's very like focused on mines, it seems like. Whereas the one on the reactor floor was lots of the little like grasshopper bugs. This was the thing I think it was most important for them to improve, and I think they mostly improved it. I would kind of like to see a not super faithful adaptation of System Shock. This is trying to like be inspired by the big ideas of System Shock, but like make a completely different game. I think this adaptation is like faithful to a fault. It's kind of interesting to see, you know, modern graphics with the ridiculous hyper maximalist style of the original game, the kind of weird level design. Yeah, I remember you saying that. That's why this sat in development hell for so long. I guess the problem is that if you just do kind of a adaptation and make it super different, like why is it System Shock at that point, right? Like, what is System Shock? Is System Shock specifically the level design of System Shock? Probably. I definitely was impressed by it playing it, although the controls have aged extremely poorly. Like, the level design was still really impressive for its time. Okay, 342. Kind of mean to just put that on a screen, actually. I don't think that same code's gonna work down in the southeast corner. I think it mostly works. I think this game is interesting as a curiosity, if like literally nothing else. Oh, there's a different code here. Where the fuck did you come from, sir? The hell? All right. Yeah, they made. I guess they expect you're gonna be coming back to the reactor all the time to heal, so they moved it a little bit closer and made it straight shot from the reactor instead of putting it on the east wall. Past a bunch of bullshit. Oh. It started leaving as though it was the original. Oh, that's brutal. This one's much easier to get to, even in the original. They made it a little bit easier to get to now. Okay. Oh. Motherfucker respawn.
Safety interlocks disabled.
Okay. So I need to turn the shield on still before I do the mining laser, right? Which I don't think I've done yet. Write that down. Mining laser, safety, override, already complete. Which is somewhere on the reactor floor. Or the research floor. Benedict. Go back and look for it since I turned in the one thing. Appreciate their commitment to bringing back the elevator music. Okay, where haven't I been here? Don't think it's somewhere with... Probably this guy. Door is manually locked. Hmm. Radiation in there. Not functional. Trying to tell me that there's a way in there, though, I guess. Alright, that's clever. It's your classic Mario 2 USA secret. Probably opens that door now. Oh, motherfucker. Robot production. Ah. Production shutdown code is 293. Okay. No, it's still productive even if it's not the isotope. Robot maintenance. Okay. This fucking bullshit. The hell am I going? I'm trying to get to the square and I start at the square. Trying to get to the other square. We established that these are procedural, right? These are not authored. It's kind of a strange choice. Okay, so we can actually go through the X nodes. Sometimes. Trying to get here.
Production cancelled.
Great. Clear this. Already done. Does not include hoppers. Okay, let me stop by the recycling room really quick to get rid of the scrap. You said the isotope's definitely on this floor. They're a little bit too long for that. It's fine with Skyrim lockpicking because pretty quick. Alright, I can run through here really quick just to see what's in there. Oh, cyberspace. Sorry, Mr. Superbot, you spooked me. I feel like cyberspace is a bit loud. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. I need every video game to have a sound test menu where it like plays the quietest sound you're expected to be able to hear, along with the loudest sound you should expect to encounter. Okay. Yeah, that'd be nice. Doesn't really matter for most people, but I'll frequently try to calibrate the equalizer in OBS based on like the title screen, and then it'll be way quieter than that, or there'll be sections that are way louder. Come on, die already. Ugh. No AI, please. You throw up. Probably not a horrible thing for machine learning, but you could personally train it on what volumes are much too high and much too quiet. Yeah. I don't think that's something I'd want to have done automatically. remember now I was using a tool called NVIDIA Broadcast for a while, which is supposed to be machine learning driven background noise removal, and it was fucking terrible. It was so bad. Yeah, I would like to have less dynamic range for streaming. I know it's better for like the cinematic experience to have a lot of dynamic range, but I guess I could just run a compressor on compressor and a limiter on the capture card audio, so you guys will hear it. Pretty tight band, but I don't monitor the capture card audio. I'm actually getting it from my monitor, so I don't want to hear something different than what y'all are hearing. It's just tough because every game treats it completely differently. Like every game has a little audio menu where it's like music, sound effects, voice acting, and then some games will like occasionally put bits of voice acting in the sound effects channel. There's just no way to prepare for it, especially as a variety streamer. Anytime you've heard cinematic experience used to justify things, it's been a bad thing. If you ever played a game that has low dynamic range, it's pretty obvious to think of one. Darksiders, I always confuse those. Darksiders has like no dynamic range, so like every little sound effect is insanely loud, the same loudness. So what did doing that accomplish? Did that open a door somewhere that was previously closed? Maybe. This might be the thing. Seems right. Now, was that only accessible because I did the cyberspace thing there in the corner? It's usually the other way around. It's usually some like really cinematic games like a lot of quadruple A prestige PS4, PS5 games tend to have extreme dynamic range where like the quiet sounds are really quiet and the loud sounds are really loud. And that's like on purpose. So usually having it compressed is unusual. I'm in a horror movie, nice. Yeah, horror movies is a genre where it's very important to have very wide dynamic range, right? You want your big horror stings to really be loud, so the audience isn't seeing them coming. Okay, so I've got the isotope. We got to go west. Thank you for feeding the kitties, Andrea. Oh, right. Text is just very long.
Shield generators ready. Radiation shields activated.
Okay. Now I can go hit the laser. Is there not a room with a bunch of computers to blow up and a single digit code on the reactor floor? Is that just only on the numbered floors? I don't remember from the original game. I guess I'm already at 0% security just from blowing up the cameras, so there must not be a code here. I have one already from the hospital floor and the research floor. Okay. Let's go hit this laser, and then we can go to maintenance, which is technically floor 3, I think. Just mark the laser. I don't remember the best way to get in there. Not this way. Uh-oh. Those guys aren't friends. Those guys aren't friends at all. God damn it. Enter. Let off the left click here. Okay. Okay. We need to do a grenade here. They're a little too nasty for the shotgun. It's dead now.
I see you are still alive, insect. Do not be fooled into thinking that you have preserved the home of your species. At this moment, I am finalizing my mutagen virus in one of the groves, and it will turn all
Earthly life into a festering pile of pustulant mutations.
poor Earthlings.
Right, so basically what I was doing there is Shodan wants to use the laser to blow up Earth. So I'm like setting up a shield around the station and then turning off the safety on the laser so the laser explodes itself. Oh, fuck. God, Jesus Christ. Afford to use one here. Fuck, I can't really take cover in here, can I? Okay, so go to the flight deck, but did that mention anything about how to get to the flight deck? I'm basically done with the reactor and research right now. I can just go on to maintenance, I think. Is that right? I do think, as innovative as System Shock was for its time and as impressive as its level design was, I think that the idea of the audio log that plays while you're doing something else, I don't think is great. I get what they're going for with it, where it's like, oh, well, you know, you'll get the story while you're doing other shit, but at least it's very difficult for me to focus on both of them at the same time and give them all the attention it deserves. I feel like, was it BioShock? Is it the BioShock 1 DLC or BioShock Infinite, where I felt like I constantly had to just like completely come to a stop and pay very close attention to the audio logs? Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying, like, System Shock introduced it, and I don't know that it was for the best, because like everybody got really, we got to do this forever now. This is the best way to do it, and it's like, I don't know. Not actually the biggest fan of it, to be honest. Yeah. I found it frustrating in Prey as well. It was also a good game. I think if it was purely flavor, like you're saying, that would be better. But yeah, no, when sometimes they're like, you have to listen for the code. Whoops. Turned around. Yeah, FromSoft is perfect. It's just enough to be interesting, not too much to where it's frustrating to have to read through. It's almost always interesting to read. It's focused on getting you to ask questions rather than providing answers, right? I feel like a lot of attempts by developers to inject lore into their games is just trying to answer as many questions as possible, and it's like, well, I like having to speculate a little bit more. Um, I think gamers and game designers are frequently very, very uncomfortable with like creating a game or a world that they are expected to engage with purely on vibes. I've been there before as like a dungeon master, right? Like you make your setting and you have these rules and this backstory, and it's like you want to download it to your players. It feels like it would be a waste not to. Oops. Come on, man. Die already. Thank you. Yeah, when you're a linear action game with a fast-paced, high-stakes story includes the opportunity to stop and read a mini novel sandwich between combat encounters. So I'm actually mostly done here, aren't I? You're not a console room, though? I hate these fucking things. They're really annoying. Hold on. I'm just gonna top back off and then come back. Yeah, I think that the books in Skyrim are too much. I don't think it's appropriate for the genre. I think having a long book that you can read in Disco Elysium is great. It's perfect. It's like punctuated with commentary about your skills, right? All sorts of opportunities for comedy. Every now and then while you're reading, you'd be like, hey, Kim, this book says this, right? And there's enough of that the pacing of actually reading a book in Disco Elysium feels amazing. But in something like Skyrim, it's like, this is just, there's too much text here. This is not the correct medium for this. Write a book if you want to write a book. It doesn't make sense for them to make an audio log. Yeah. Why is everyone making audio logs? Leave them around. That wouldn't bother me as much, I think, if the idea of the audio log worked better. But I think on average, it's something that a lot of developers got really excited about that never has actually been that worthy of excitement. I'm trying to think of like, what is the game that has used audio logs the most effectively where I basically never have a problem with it? I probably played one. It didn't really stand out in my memory though. Yeah, they put all of their audio diary on a single device. All right, let's make a going to the annoying floor save here. I remember floor 3 being annoying. So all of the invisible bio agent assholes. Fucking hell. At least there's a battery recharge right there. Oh my god, how many of these assholes are there? Jesus. It'd be worth it if it's focused on humor, yeah. Interface demodulator? Proper subsystem relay operation. What the fuck do those do? It's environmental hazards on the map. Well, that would be nice. Damage mini pistol. It is extremely funny that every single pad in Star Trek contains like one piece of information.
Door locked. No maintenance necessary.
I come back there way later if I recall correctly. Gotta go top off again really fast. Fuck. It's very funny, some of the things that Star Trek predicted, and some of the things where they like the boomer writers got the spirit of something right, but just had no context for what it would actually be like. So they envisioned the holodeck, and they envisioned holo novels, and they're basically just video games, right? But they don't have like the ludology, for lack of a better word. They don't really know that, okay, well, it's a video game, so how are people going to play a video game? So there's a bunch of really weird holodeck, holo novel stories in Star Trek where it's people imagining a video game before video games exist and not quite getting it right. It's a useful word. It's helpful for talking about dumb shit like the metaverse, right? Where like obviously the format of something like the metaverse is basically a video game, and if you're setting out to make a big server where everybody has avatars and runs around and interacts with each other, like there's like a set ludology for the way we should go about doing that. But fucking tech bro dipshits decided that the product they were making was not a video game, totally not a video game, and didn't hire anyone involved in the video game industry to help them make any of it, and somehow spent, I think it was $50 billion, which is an absolutely comical sum to have spent on the metaverse. Now it's a much larger number for nothing, for something that looks shittier than Second Life. But it's just the hubris of like, oh, this isn't a video game. It's like, I don't care what you think it is. It's a video game. I'm sorry. Oh, Edward Diego.
But on the future. Our future as a species is short-lived. We are given a life that is, by many standards, brief. Science can only extend our flesh so far before it degrades into dust. Dust that floats aimlessly in the void, eventually sinking down into the unreachable corners of the dark, forgotten bowels of this very station. Is this what our legacy should be? A place in a forgotten corner of this galaxy? I say no. I say we deserve better.
Sounds like something a good guy would say.
And her gift of immortality. Technology and biology together in perfect digital perfection.
Forgot about the groves.
And we will outlive the stars.
I want to over-explore in the time I have left here, so I'm just going to try to mark stuff. It'll be great to start on a new floor next episode. Well, I don't even want to change the world anymore. I think that tech has been so thoroughly cannibalized by finance that they understand now intimately that, like, they just need to convince some venture capitalists of the possibility that they need to make some boomers think that they could change the world, right? Like, it's entirely based on that speculation. It's not actually based on ever delivering a product. And in fact, for a long time, a lot of them have just been trying to convince people of that long enough to get bought out so they don't actually have to deliver on it, right? Yeah. The product itself has become hype, exactly, yeah. I bring this up in Discord all the time as we talk about this constantly, but there's the Trash Future podcast. They were talking about this concept of there being different frontiers of exploitation, right? That, like, you can expand, you can physically expand into new territories, right? You can take a country that wasn't previously capitalist and force them to become capitalist, and now you have a bunch of new consumers and you have a bunch of new laborers, right? And you can expand that way, but eventually you run out of physical space to expand into, but you still have to make the line go up. And Marx was like, well, eventually, I mean, that's unsustainable. You're going to run out of space to expand into. The line can't go up forever. There's not infinite resources to do that. The whole thing's going to fall apart. And what we really didn't foresee is the micro ways you could continue to expand in a little bit for a little bit of time. You can find new things that you can squeeze a little bit of value out of. And what Silicon Valley is doing, what Trash Future calls it, is the frontier of credibility, where you're basically making money off of your existing credibility. You're treating that as a resource that you can mine and eventually run out. So Silicon Valley, like, objectively changes all of our lives, you know, every couple of years for like decades. And so most people in society have this memory. We trust that Silicon Valley can do that. They can do this crazy shit that's going to blow our minds and change our lives. So they come out and say, hey, check out this cryptocurrency we came up with, or check out this metaverse idea we have. We're like, well, that sounds fucking stupid to me, but you guys haven't been wrong before. You've been right for the last 30 years, so I guess I trust you. I guess I'll throw some money at you, right? And eventually that credibility runs out. Eventually they, you know, give us 70 bullshit, stupid, pointless products and we stop buying it. But for now, it's a resource that they can mine, right? And mine pretty profitably. Hate this guy. Alt is not a very convenient button to press to get targeting set up here. And we got one of these cyborg assassin things. Yeah, they were wrong so much before, but survivorship bias is a hell of a thing. Exactly. You only remember the things that landed and not the stupid bullshit. But it is interesting to think about it being an actual resource that they can exploit, right? There's all kinds of different frontiers of exploitation beyond just physically expanding into new territory, but all of them share in common that they're finite, and eventually the well runs dry, right? You know, another thing you can do is you can start binge shitifying your product. You can save money by spending less money on the product, right? If profit is your revenue minus your expenses, you can minimize your expenses, but there's some like threshold. No matter how shitty you make the product, eventually it will be so shitty that you can't sell it anymore, at least in theory. Maybe that's not true based on the direction of enshittification in the last 10 years. Maybe there is no bottom, but all right, we're at time here. So future Marstead, the reactor is your home base. Go back to the reactor when you need to heal. There is a battery up here and a healing room here. They moved it so it's closer to the elevator compared to the original game. You just run through this door on the right, and then you hang a left up here, and then you hang a left here. Go ahead and heal and get you a battery and put you back where you need to be. You are basically done with floors 1 and 2. You've already turned on the shield, disabled the safety, and blown up the laser. So I don't think you have to come back to the reactor floor for a while. I remember from playing the original game, you do have to come back to the reactor towards the end of the game, but it's going to be a while until you have to worry about that. The maintenance floor, I don't think you have anything to do on there. I don't think there are any computers to explode or a passcode number to get. There might be, though, but I wouldn't focus on exploring that next time. Just keep that in your future Marstead notes that eventually you probably have to go back to the maintenance floor, floor 3. The way you're going to get to the floor you actually want to be exploring here, I'm going to show you in a second, but you're just going to take the elevator to the floor with the constantly respawning virus bug things from Dr. Mario. You're just going to sprint through that floor because killing the enemies is not at all worth it. Use your spark as much as possible. You do not have a lot of ammo, so you want to save your ammo from when you actually need it. In the original version of this game, the final level, you desperately needed all of the ammo you saved for the whole game. And I think that's going to be even more true in this game because ammo feels like it's even scarcer than it used to be. I guess there are shops you can buy ammo from. That's supposed to counteract that a little bit, but right now I'm just saving money to buy mods. Yeah, I guess the problem now, because we're gonna go to maintenance. The problem though now is that you don't even need, of your 30 products you invest in, none of them need to be real. You can still make money without them ever paying off, as long as you can convince some VCs that they hypothetically could be real. There you go, future Marstead. That's how you get to the executive floor, and that's where I'd pick up next time. You can go to the different groves, other shit to explore. And there were some more notes a couple minutes ago. Good luck to you. Floors 1 to 6 all have nodes and a code number. Okay, so you are going to need to get one on floor 3. You only have the codes for floor 1 and 2 in the text file right now, so go back to 3 at some point. It might require the radiation suit or an upgraded hazard resistance. So I feel like you've been in most rooms there, but maybe there's a room you couldn't get past earlier due to too much radiation. Good luck. I'm enjoying the System Shock remake. It's interesting.